Allah Ta'ala is inviting us to ask of Him. So we should learn the language. If you travel to another country, you know that if you don't speak the language, you're not going to get far. You can't hire a room to sleep in. You can't buy food to eat. We start to learn the language very quickly. Even if we don't instinctively learn languages or understand languages, we try to communicate. We learn the language beforehand we start the preparation. Sometimes we buy a book and vocabulary because we know our stomach is going to complain if we don't speak the language. But what about our heart? And what about our spirit? If we do not know how to plead in front of Allah, because yes, Allah knows what is in our hearts, but this language of Arabic, He's chosen for us. He has chosen the language for the Quran. He has chosen the language for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it is incumbent upon us to make time to learn these du'as and to be able to recite them at the times that have been prescribed for those. When one enters the city of Mecca, it is not like any other journey. The du'as which are made when you enter Mecca, they are accepted. The du'as which are made when you first cast your eyes upon the Kaaba, they are accepted. There is nothing quite like the first glance that falls upon the Kaaba. Allah Ta'ala says, إِنَّ أَوَّلَ بَيْتٍ وُضِعَ لِلنَّاسِ الَّذِي بِبَكَّةَ مُبَارَكًا وَهُدًى لِلْعَالَمِينَ فِيهِ آيَاتٌ بَيِّنَاتٌ مَقَامُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. The first house established upon the earth for the people, for the worship of Allah, is the one in Mecca. And this is celebrated. And in it there is guidance for mankind. Guidance for the alameen, for the worlds. And there are signs in there, one of which is Maqam Ibrahim, the stone from heaven upon which Sayyidina Ibrahim a.s. stood when he was building the Kaaba. Kaabe ki raunak, Kaabe ka manzar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Kaabe ki raunak, Kaabe ka manzar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Laya kaha mujhko mera muqaddar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Within the Kaaba is Hajj Aswad. Hajj Aswad is a stone from heaven. A stone from heaven which has been placed upon the earth. And this stone had the honor that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made peace between the tribes in Mecca by giving them advice as to how to place this in the Kaaba. When they had rebuilt the Kaaba, they were arguing over who would have the honor of placing Hajr Aswad in the Kaaba. And blood would have been spilled. And then they decided we will let the next man who walks into the masjid decide. The next man who walked in was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they were all happy because he was a trustworthy and respected individual. And he said, let them place it on a sheet and let all the tribes carry it together. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself, with his blessed hands, placed the Hajr Aswad in the Kaaba. So he made peace between the tribes. And Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala said that I kiss Hajr Aswad because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has kissed this stone. भेजा है जन्नत से तुझको खुदा ने, झूमा है तुझको मेरे मुस्तफा ने, हजरे अस्वद ये तेरा मुक़द्दर, अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर. So this is the rawnaq of the Kaaba. And we embark after this on the 5 days of Hajj, which begin, the khutbah of Hajj is listened to on the 7th, and then after this on the 8th, the Hujjaj Kiram embark on their journey to Mina, and they complete the prayers there from Zohar until the next Fajr of the 9th. after Mina, they journey to Arafat, and they spend some time in Arafat, which is one of the fard pillars of Hajj, without which the Hajj is not completed. They spend some time in Arafat before sunset. And after sunset, they leave and they go to the place of Muzdalifah. And there they join the Maghrib and the Isha prayer in the Isha time, which is wajib and is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in the morning, between the Subh Sadiq, the break of dawn, and the Fajr in Muzdalifah, they perform the Wuquf of Muzdalifah. And then, having prayed their Fajr prayer, they return to Mina. And there they perform on the 10th a number of actions. First of all, having collected the stones in Muzdalifah, either 49 or 70, and a few spare, depending on how many days they will spend in Mina, they will embark on their journey to Mina, and there, on the first day, they will throw 7 stones at Jumrah Uqba, which is the furthest from Masjid al-Khif in Mina. They will throw 7 stones there, and after this, then they will perform the other actions of the 10th day. They will give their qurbani, their sacrifice, they will cut some of their hair or shave their hair, then they will remove the ihram, the cloth that they have been wearing, and then they will go and do their tawaf, the fard tawaf in the city of Mecca, and after then their sa'i, and then they will return to Mina Sharif. And in Mina Sharif, they will stay on the 11th and the 12th, and on each of those days they will throw 7 stones at each of the 3 Jamrat, the pillars in Mina Sharif. After this, they will return to Mecca, and if they are to leave the city of Mecca, they will perform their tawaf al-wida, the exit, the farewell tawaf to the Kaaba, and then they will journey towards the city of Medina. Of the city of Medina al-Munawwara, this place is the resting place of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, "Man zara qabri wajabat lahu shafa'ati." Whosoever visits my grave, my intercession is compulsory upon him. And this place, Medina al-Munawwara, is the place which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam chose to inhabit and chose to remain in and chose to rest in. And there are his companions, Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala, and not far away in Jannatul Baqi is Sayyidina Usman radiallahu ta'ala. And there you will stand in the presence of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in the presence of the Khulafa Rashideen, and in the presence, there are the daughters of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are the wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All of these people, the family members of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all buried in the garden of Jannatul Baqi. The Arabs, then when they remember Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they do it more than we do. And in this verse, they say of this time, of this place, يا روضة الهادي الشفيع وصاحبيه والباقي اكتب لنا نحن الجميع زيارة لنبينا صل وسلم يا سلام على النبي بدر التمام والآل والصحب الكرام صلى عليهم ربنا. Mentioning that this is the Rawda of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the guide and the intercessor. When we stand in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we ask that he intercede with Allah Ta'ala for our forgiveness. We make him a witness that we have believed in the message which he brought, that there is no God but Allah, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his messenger. Because Allah Ta'ala said, إِنَّا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ شَاهِدًا وَمُبَشِّرًا وَنَذِيرًا. He has sent Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as a witness. So we make him a witness of our iman. So that on the day of judgment, he will count us amongst his followers. He will count us amongst the people who came into his presence and declared our faith in front of his. May Allah Ta'ala grant us that honor on the day of judgment.